So the second problem is, what is the unit circle? So this is more a conceptual problem, and it's the unit circle. So the unit circle actually had some important trigonometric meaning and applications, but for your purposes, the unit circle obviously is a circle, and let me try to use this function so that it can actually include a circle that's more regular. Whoopsie. Okay, so this is the unit circle. The unit circle is called the unit circle because the radius of the circle is just 1. So radius is equals to 1. And radius is equals to 1. As a result, we know these 4 points on this, the value of these 4 points on the circle. So this would just be x equals 1, y equals 0, or this is x-axis and y-axis. And this is just be x equals -1, y equals 0, x equals 0, y equals -1, and x equals to 0, y equals to 1, right above here. Furthermore, we also know that for each point, the x value is cosine and the y value is sine. So for example, for the angle over here, if the angle is 90 degrees, so cosine of 90 degrees would be 0, and cosine of 90 degrees, sine of 90 would equals to 1. So the point over here would be the cosine versus sine, and for this specific angle. And same with the rest of the unit circle. So this is very useful for determining trigonometric values, the values of cosine, sine, etc. I have a full unit circle right over here. Let's move it towards our example. So this is the complete unit circle that I pulled from somewhere. So for example, you see right over here, if the angle is 90 degrees, the cosine would be 0, the sine would be 1. If the angle is 30 degrees, the angle is 30 degrees, so here this theta would be 30 degrees. The value of cosine will be √3/2, and the value of sine would be 1/2. You could also notice that right over here, the angle of 108 or 150 degrees. The angle here is 150 degrees. Here is 150 degrees. The x value, or the cosine value, would be -√3/2. The y value and this on the circle, or the sine of 150, would be 1/2. Notice that on this part of the circle, x is negative because x over here is negative, and y here is positive, and so the cosine value would be negative because the cosine value is the x value, and the sine value would be positive because sine value is the y value. So this is about all you have to know with the unit circle, and make sure you know how to find the cosine of an angle and the sine of an angle in both degrees and radians for this concept. But yes, that's the unit circle, and let's see what we have here for the sample solution. Yes, they basically explain the same thing we did with less examples, and they also have a graph over here. Perfect. Okay, so let's say this is correct. Great job. Yep. Now let's move.